Hello dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. In this video, I'm going to talk about the model question paper of third semester BA Generic English under Bangalore City University BCU. The duration 2 hours 30 minutes, the marks 60, the maximum marks will be 60. The first part of this question paper belong to the play purpose, that is for 30 marks. Under this section 1, answer any two of the following questions in about a page. So you need to attempt two questions each for 5 marks. Question number 1, explain the three tenets of karma preached by Drona. Tenets means principle. Karma, karmana swarthaha, that means a man whose labor is no more but means to gain his selfish ends. Second one is karma eva arthaha, that means he whose labor is in itself the end and the aim of his labor. The third one, karmana prahartaha, he whose aim in his labor is that others might reap the harvest of his toils without the least profit to himself. This is the righteous aim. Question number 2, how did Eklavya learn archery? Drona and Arjuna wander through the forest and talking. Suddenly, they see a wolf running out from a nearby bush, screaming with at least 30 arrows through its skull. Drona and Arjuna stand spellbound by this insanely awesome feat of archery. As the archer comes running in pursuit, they recognize him as Eklavya. Eklavya reveals that his guru is the great Drona. Drona denies this vehemently, saying that he had not trained anyone other than Arjuna. Eklavya beckons them to follow him to his shrine nearby. Upon reaching, they see a life sized clay statue of Drona sitting cross legged on a shrine under the shade of a tree. Eklavya says that he has learnt this art or this archery from this statue. Question number 3, list out the advices given by Eklavya's mother. Eklavya's mother advises him that pride in one's caste more than in one's power to do good, and it is the surest sign of a head. Weak head. She also criticizes the way Nishada is considered as a low born. His mother always says that contempt for another's caste is born only of cowardice. She also mentions that hate is only another name of fear. She mentions that one tells an untruth only when one is afraid of the truth. Now, the part 2, answer any two questions of the following in about 2 pages. So you need to attempt here 2 questions, each for 10 marks. Arjuna and Eklavya have a different purpose in learning archery. Elaborate and comment. Here you need to mention the different purposes, the different objectives of Arjuna and Eklavya for learning archery. It is important to know the difference between Eklavya and Arjun. Their purposes were different. Arjuna's purpose was self centered, he wanted to become the greatest archer of the world, whereas Eklavya wanted to save others' lives. In the play purpose, Eklavya's portrayal has been described well as a modern person than Mahabharata. Being a son of Nishada, he suffers a lot. He belongs to Bhal community. He lives in a forest with his mother. He is the son of Yatraj. His father was a soldier in the army of the king of Magadha. So Eklavya wants to save poor animals from cruel animals, and he has a desire to learn archery. His purpose is not self-centered but to help others. Arjuna was a selfish archer. His purpose was to become the greatest archer of the world. Kailasam has given more significance to Eklavya's character. Kailasam, the playwright, has given more importance to Eklavya's character, and he has also given him more priority in this play. According to Kailasam, Eklavya is considered an important character than Arjuna because without Eklavya's sacrifice of his thumb, Arjuna would not have become the greatest archer or he could have not been succeed. Eklavya's character is considered important in the play purpose. Here, Arjuna has been criticized being a selfish person, and being a self centered person. Now, the second question, discuss Eklavya as a tragic character or the character sketch of Eklavya. Aristotle agrees with the condition of rather good man as ideal tragic hero who comes to bad end with an ideal situations. The play title purpose describes different character of Eklavya than the great epic Mahabharata. Guru Dronacharya teaches archery not on Guru Dronacharya teaches archery only to the princess that shows that Indian caste and creed system where a talented person is not equally seen. Though Eklavya has impersonal purpose to learn archery and also the quality, but he cannot become because of his belonging. Guru promises Arjuna that he will become the best archer of the world. One day, as Drona is training Arjuna, Eklavya comes out of the forest and observes them from a distance. When Drona looks less busy, Eklavya approaches him and asks for permission to learn archery. Drona does not refuse the boy nor scorn him. Drona wholeheartedly wishes to help Eklavya to fulfill his goal. Eklavya lives in a hut in the center of a great forest. Near his house, there are many fawns, D, that he and his mother care for and occasionally feed. However, there are an abundance of wolves in that region of the forest, and they continuously hunt down and eat his fawns, his Ds. It is for this purpose Eklavya wishes to master the skills of archery. At this point in the play, Drona considers Eklavya as his pupil. Unfortunately, Drona's other pupil Arjuna gets into a small fight with Eklavya and insults his caste, telling him that he is low born and hence he is unable to ever compete with somebody of his own level. Drona is thoroughly impressed with this volley of ideas and is even more willing to take on Eklavya than before. However, Arjun remembers something that he can twist to his advantage. Drona had promised Arjuna that he would make him the greatest archer in the world. Yet, still Arjuna and Eklavya continue to bicker and fight. Eklavya states that nowhere in these criteria is caste mentioned, and hence he should have an equal opportunity. Through the course of the argument, we see that Eklavya genuinely believes that the Guru will side with him. Unfortunately, after Arjuna invoking his promise, the honor bound Guru has no choice but to turn Eklavya away. Eklavya is heartbroken. 6 years later, with Drona and Arjuna wandering through the forest and talking, suddenly they see a wolf running out from a nearby bush, screaming with at least 30 arrows through its skull. Drona and Arjuna stand spellbound by this insanely awesome feat of archery. As the archer comes running in pursuit, they recognize him as Eklavya. Arjuna gets pissed after witnessing Eklavya's mad archery. There's no way that he's the greatest archer alive. Hence, he calls Drona a liar, and Eklavya gets angry. This repeats itself several times, and eventually they start talking things out. Eklavya reveals that his guru is the great Drona. Drona denies this vehemently, saying that he had not trained anyone other than Arjuna. Eklavya beckons them to follow him to a shrine nearby. Upon reaching, they see a life sized clay statue of Drona sitting cross legged on a shrine under the shade of a tree. Eklavya says that he has learned this archery from this statue. Arjuna is unable to understand this and takes out his anger on Drona. Drona helplessly responds that he too had no idea of these happenings, but Arjuna won't quit. He mocks, he humors, he insults Drona, telling him that the world will know him as a liar who did not abide by his promise to the king. Eklavya is crestfallen. He cannot believe that his training may be the downfall of the great Dronacharya. Drona is equally perplexed. as to how his pupil Eklavya could have learnt more than he himself knows. Drona is now feeling confused and guilty. He could not deny that he had failed to deliver on his promise to Arjuna, but at the same time, he had no idea that Eklavya had been training under him. Drona knows that he's trapped. He knows that there is no way that Arjun can ever become a greater bowman than Eklavya. Drona says that it is not just the effort given by the teacher that counts, it is equally the effort given by the pupil to learn. In this respect, Drona feels that Arjun can never become greater. Eklavya continues to insist that with a proper training, Arjun could easily become the best archer. Eklavya is overwhelmed with this guilt that his guru has been insulted. He feels terrible about the fact that he was the cause of all of this. He offers to never draw his bow again, but Arjun is not satisfied. Arjun continues to enrage Eklavya by provoking him and insulting Drona. Caught up in a fit of rage, Eklavya walks over to the image of Drona and cuts off his right thumb as blood gushes from the severed finger. Drona is aghast and deeply shocked. He had never expected this, much less wanted it. Eklavya tells him that this is my Guru Dakshina as Arjun looks on shocked. As Eklavya's rage dies down, he is suddenly overcome with a sense of grief. He remembers his fawns, his deed, the purpose of his entire endeavor. He had just destroyed his purpose. Covered in blood and tears, Eklavya weeps, surrounded by his fawns. He is caught between a loyalty to his guru and a loyalty to his purpose. Caught in this paradox and a fit of rage, he has made an impetuous decision. The fact that he is still undecided after having sacrificed his thumb reflects the agonizing pain that he must be feeling. In a desperate attempt to maintain his loyalty to the Guru, he gave away what was not his to give, that is, his purpose. Being a common man, Eklavya suffers a lot. He faces all problems and comes out with flying color and emerges as the tragic hero of the play Purpose by T.P. Kalasam. Because of his own error of judgment, that is called sudden decision to give Guru Dakshina, he becomes the tragic hero of the play. Because of his sacrifice, Arjun becomes the best archer of the world. Question number 3. Do you think that class and caste can sometimes have a great influence on the opportunities one has in life? Discussed with reference to the play Purpose. The play Purpose, written by T.P. Kalasam, is a drama in two acts. The story is based on Adi Parva from the Mahabharata. One can see a play of various purposes in Kailasam's mythological drama. For example, the Brahmin's curse is built on Karna's intention to prove his worth to the world, and Kailasam's purpose of questioning the treatment given to Karna. The story moves around Eklavya and Arjuna and their purpose behind learning archery. Both want to learn archery from the great Dronacharya. Dronacharya teaches archery to Arjun but cannot accept Eklavya's proposal because of his promise to Arjun. Arjun wants to become the greatest archer of the world, and Eklavya explains that he wants to learn archery to save the lives of innocent animals. Arjun's purpose behind learning archery is self centered, while Eklavya's purpose is noble. In the second act, Eklavya is far ahead than Arjun in archery. In anger, Arjun says that he will tell everyone that Guru Drona has not kept his vow. To save his Guruji from social criticism, Eklavya gives his thumb as Guru Dakshina. After giving his thumb in Guru Dakshina, Eklavya realizes that his purpose behind learning archery was to save lives of innocent animals, but now he cannot look into the eyes of the animals. The drama ends with Eklavya crying. On one occasion, Eklavya wants to learn archery from Guru Drona, but he denies it. and he tells him that he just based to the learn of Kshatriya and Brahmina. He says that he just teaches only to Kshatriyas and Brahmina. For that, the way is changed here as we can see the caste system. Later on, Eklavya learn archery from the representation of Guru Drona, and Drona gets to know about it. In the time, he got dilemma in his mind that what to do. He Shudra boy, Nishada, knows best archery. What will happen if the other will know? In that way, he thinks to destroy Eklavya's path. For that, Guru Drona asks his thumb for Guru Dakshina in Mahabharata. Here we can see Eklavya as subaltern and marginalized hero. It raises serious questions about caste system and about its system. It gives us a glimpse that how the marginalized tribes were treated by the dominate Aryan people. He had potential to excel Arjun, the Aryan hero. But the dominating Aryans conspired and neutralized the challenge by asking Eklavya to donate thumb of his right hand. According to the rule of morality, if a Nishada boy becomes a better archer than the high-born pupil, it goes against the rule of morality on hunting expedition in the forest. The dog was barking and his mouth was shut by the arrows shot by Eklavya. We can find excessive reverence to the Brahmins even if they do not deserve it, even though the teacher may refuse to train him and demand his thumb. How Eklavya is expected to behave towards his Brahmin teacher? Eklavya lost his efficiency as an archer. Arjuna becomes thus a great archer. Eklavya was made scapegoat to serve selfish end of the dominated caste hierarchy. Hence, T.P. Kalasam portrays the subaltern society in this play. He puts the character of Eklavya into the center and Arjun at the periphery. He gives the voice to Eklavya, a low caste Nishada boy. Subaltern does not have the voice. Here we find caste conflict between Arjuna and Eklavya. So this is how the two sections belong to the purpose for 30 marks. Now we have third section, answer any two questions of the following about a page. Five marks for each, and you have five speeches. And out of the five speeches, you'll be asked two or three questions. Here you have the choice. Why does Kiran Bedi say that she's a product of opportunities? Kiran Bedi is a product of opportunities, rare opportunities in the 50s and the 60s, which girls didn't get. And she was conscious of the fact that what her parents were giving her was something unique because all of her best school friends were getting doled up to get married with a lot of dowry, and here she was with a tennis racket and going to school and doing all kinds of extracurricular activities. She thought that she must tell all these things. Thus, she considers himself as the product of opportunities. Discuss how our decision makers are not trained in problem solving skills according to Narayan Murthy. In his speech, Narayan Murthy comments on the decision makers who are not trained in the noble in the problem solving skills. He quotes few examples to justify his opinion. He says that considering the constant travel required in the software industry, 5 years ago he had suggested a 240-page passport. This would eliminate frequent visits to the passport office. In fact, they are ready to pay for this. So there was no reaction from the Ministry of External Affairs on this. So he told that instead of making passport every time, why can't we have passport of 240 pages so that people from MNCs who visit the other countries, it will be very easy for them. But there was no reaction from the Ministry of External Affairs. He quotes Thomas Hunter's words: idleness travels very slowly and poverty soon overtakes it. What could be the reason for this? Further, he mentions that we were ruled by foreigners for over 1,000 years. Thus, we always have believed that public issues belonged to some foreign ruler, that we have no role in solving them. Moreover, we have lost the will to proactively solve our own problems. Thus, we have got used to just executing someone else's orders. Borrowing Aristotle's words, he says that we are what we repeatedly do. Thus, having done this over the years, the decision makers in a society are not trained for solving the problems. So, our decision makers look to somebody else to take decisions. Unfortunately, there's nobody to look up to, and this is the tragedy, in the words of Mr. Narayan Murthy. Next question: elucidate briefly the three visions of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The speech was delivered by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on 25th May at IIT Hyderabad, India. The three visions for India. Dr. Kalam mentions three visions for India. He says that in 3,000 years of our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us, captured our lands, conquered our minds. From Alexander onwards, the Greeks, the Turks, and the Mughals, the Portuguese, and the British, the French, and the Dutch, all of them came and looted us, took over what was ours, yet we have not done this to any other nation. First vision, he mentions freedom. Dr. Kalam says that we have not conquered anyone, we have not grabbed the land, the culture, and the history and tried to enforce our way of life on them, because we respect the freedom of others. Hence, our first vision should be the freedom. He believes that India got its first vision of this in 1857, when we started the War of Independence. It is this freedom that we must protect, nurture, and build on. If we are not free, no one will respect us. Second vision is development. Speaking on his second vision, Dr. Kalam further mentions that we have 10% growth rate in most areas. Our poverty levels are falling. Our achievements are being globally recognized today, yet we lack the self confidence to see ourselves as a developed nation, self reliant, and self assured. So he mentions his second vision for India as development. He says that for 50 years we have been a developing nation. It is a time we see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among top 5 nations in the world in terms of GDP. The third vision, India must stand up to the world. Further, Dr. Kalam mentions his third vision, that India must stand up to the world. He believes that unless India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. Only strength respects strength. We must be strong not only as a military power but also as an economic power. Both must go hand in hand. So that was the questions from speech. So let me remind you the purpose for 30 marks and speech for 10 marks. So 30 plus 10, 40. Now the remaining part of the question paper will be for 20 marks, the grammar section. Now here we have the PowerPoint presentation that is for 5 marks. So prepare PowerPoint slides for 5 marks on the topic reading habits. So as I mentioned on the screen, you can see here, you can make the 5 slides, and you can also add here the pictures. You can decorate the slide. You can give the some different font size so that your PowerPoint presentation slides or the PPTs can be more effective. So the slide one, you mention the name of the topic presented by XYZ, and you can draw some picture. Slide 2, you divide your slides into the sub themes, how you can see on the screen here. Slide 2, reading helps in. Slide 3, again about reading. Then a picture you can mention. Slide 4, strategies to develop reading habits. And the slide 5, thank you. So this is how you need to prepare the 5 slides. I repeat once again, you can decorate your slide, you can um, put different font sizes. All right, you can use different font sizes, you can use a different color pencils with different colors possibly, and if possible you draw some picture which are relevant to the content. Next question, prepare 5 slides for a PowerPoint presentation on plastic use. Again, the same method we are following here. Slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slide 1, topic presented by. Slide 2, the main theme. Slide 3, 4 will be the sub themes, and the slide 5 will be the thank you. Now, the next question you have here from the writing skill. So, write a paragraph in about on a place you visited, and the hints will be given, and based on the hints you can develop a paragraph that is for 5 marks. So you'll be given here 3 paragraphs. Out of the 3 paragraphs you will be having the choice, you can attempt one. So this is a paragraph about a place which I visited Manali, so I have described here about my visit to Manali, the descriptive paragraph. So you can go through the content on the screen. Then okay, then you have another choice here, that um, reflective paragraph here, how write a paragraph in about 150 words, giving an account of how you helped an old man to cross the road. So how did you cross the road? So I have mentioned here that I was going to school. On the way I saw an old man who was asking people to help him cross the road, but everyone was ignoring him. Though I was getting late to school, I thought to help him cross the road. After helping him, he gave me lots of blessings. Then I went to school and my teacher was furious because I was late to school. She asked me, "Why are you late to school?" I told her the total story. She told me to come after some time, and she told the incident to everybody in the classroom. All of them clapped for me. I was very happy. So I would say that it's your creativity. Use the vocabulary without any grammatical errors. This question is for 5 marks. So again, you have a choice for writing the paragraph here, the coherent paragraph in about 150 words on the topic leisure. So you can go through the content on the screen. So this is how the paragraph writings for 5 marks. You'll be given 3 paragraphs on 3 different themes and 3 different topics. You can attempt any one. So PowerPoint presentation slide 5, paragraph writing 5, 10 marks done. Now you have another 10 marks to go. Now the next 5 marks you have here, business correspondence, that is the letter writing. So draft a letter to Hindustan Furnishing Limited, Pune, asking for a copy of the latest catalog for steel furniture for offices and homes, quotation of prices, and for any concessions and offers. So letter of inquiry. I'll just go through the format. So the first you have here the sender's address, then date, receiver's address, salutation, subject, then body of the letter. We have gone through your website and are pleased to see the variety of furniture for offices and homes. We're looking forward to do business with you. We're an outstanding furniture firm in Bangalore. Kindly send the quotations of various furniture and also the mode of payment and credit facilities. We also seek special concession and commission, as we always give an order in bulk, which should profit you as well. Looking forward for your reply. Thank you. Yours faithfully. So the left margin format you need to follow. Next question, in option you have another question. You have purchased a mobile from Amazon shopping app. You are dissatisfied with the performance of the product. The dealer has refused to look into the matter. Write a complaint letter to the manufacturing unit, Pune, Electronic Corporation, Mumbai, requesting them to redirect the dealer to look into the matter along with the reply. So complaint as well as the complaint letter. So here again, the sender's address, date, and the receiver's address you need to mention. Then salutation, dear sir, subject, complaint about the order, dated 25th December 2022. I have ordered Apollo 2.3 mobile on 25th December 2022 on Amazon shopping app and received it on 31st December 2022. After 1 week, it was found that its battery slows down in every 1 hour. I had complained to dealer 2 times, but there was no positive response. I kindly request you to look into this matter and direct the dealer to replace the mobile. Thank you, yours faithfully. So this is the format you need to apply. Either it's a inquiry letter, complaint letter, order, or reply to the complaint, whichever the question appears for the letter writing. Follow the left margin format. Now, up next, you have here advertisement. So you want to rent out a two-bedroom house which with all civic amenities and a well-placed location. Draft a display advertisement to be sent to a newspaper giving the details about the rent. So you can draw the picture possibly and give the key points of the home or whichever the advertisement you would like to publish in the newspaper. For example, we can draw this picture of house for rent, two-bedroom kitchen with furniture, just 200 meters away from Majestic Metro Station. Contact Mahesh and the phone number. So advertisement writing is for 5 marks. Now, advertisement writing is for the 5 marks. You have an option here, or you have an option, either product writing or product manual or brochure writing. So from the conversation given below, draw details to write instructions on how to use an oven. Also design the cover page of the product with its brand name and logo for the product manual. So you may have an option for the advertisement or for brochure writing. So there are three important under commercial writing. There are three important topics: advertisement, brochure writing, and the product manual. So there's an option here. So this product manual question, we have some conversation here. Based on this conversation, you need to design the product manual. So I'm just going to read here. Geeta says, "Congratulations, Suma. Your oven is so sleek to looking. What are you going to bake today?" Suma says, "Hi, Geeta. I was waiting for you. I'm a little unsure as how to use it since you have been using an oven for quite some time. Can you tell me how to use it?" Geeta, "Oh, yes, I can help you. But why this place is uneven? It should be placed on an even platform with adequate space for proper ventilation." Yes, that's the right spot. Now you can plug in the socket and switch it on. Suma says, "Okay, can I place the baking tray inside now?" Geeta, "No, wait. You haven't set the timer and temperature and function as yet. See here, there's a control panel displaying all of the functions." Suma says, "Oh, I see. I can turn this knob. It has degree markings on it. It's temperatures control, I think. And here I see these symbols indicating different functions like toast, bake. I need to set it to bake. So I'm going to bake it. I'm going to bake a cake. Right. Geeta, you are sharp. How easily you learn. You will have a set the timer. You have to set the timer for the time you require to cook the recipe. This cake may need 45 minutes to be baked. Suma says, "I'm pulling this door with the handle and it opened. Can I place the tray now?" But wait a minute. Where do I place it? There are three racks here, Geeta, in the lowest rack. But for now, you close the door without placing your baking tray. Let it preheat for 15 minutes. Later, you can place the tray with food. Then set the timer. After it's done, it will sound an alarm and you can switch it off and take out the cake carefully with your gloves on. Suma, thank you, Geeta, for helping me use my new oven. Come, let's sit down and chat till it bakes. So, as per the instructions given in the question, you need to read this conversation and you need to design the instructions plus the product logo and the brand name. So, after going through this conversation, my answer may be like this. First, you need to design the picture and the logo. So, we have here Borosil oven, and we can mention the features of the oven here. These are the different features of the oven. Then, we can based on the conversation, we can extract the instructions and we can mention, list out the instructions like this. So, from the conversation, I have extracted the instructions. So this is my answer for this question. I repeat once again, here the logo, the picture, the specifications of the oven, then how to use it and how to use this Borosil oven based on the conversation given in the question paper. So this question is from the model question paper. I would like to show you one sample answer which is done by one of my students. Now, you can look at here on your screen here. There's a product manual of WACFit study lamp. So these are the two different answers written by two different students. The image is drawn. So like this, you can draw the image. Then features are mentioned. Instructions are also mentioned how to operate it, or any warnings. If any warnings you would like to mention, you can mention here. So this is how you can attempt the product manual question. So dear students, I have tried my best to solve this model question paper. The primary source of information should be the textbook, and the answers in this model question paper are just an outline, will help you to understand the questions very well. Thank you so much. Wish you good luck for the examination. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.